Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and today we are finishing up our look at the Wave 2 Deluxes from Transformers Legacy. This is from the Beast Wars universe, Tarantulas. This is a figure that a lot of people have been looking for, long time coming, very happy to have. Frankly, I'm very happy to have it for reasons I'll get to at the end of the video. Let's just say in the fact that this might be my last video review because some unfortunate circumstances might befall me with what I'm going to do with Tarantulas. But yeah, it's very nice. I'm, as I always say, I'm not the biggest fan of Beast Wars, but I did watch a couple seasons of it, and I know Tarantulas was very smart, was the scientist, a little bit like Shockwave from the G1 comics, trying to usurp Megatron. Now, I got this figure, as well as the other Wave 2 Deluxes, from ToyArena.com. But apparently, these especially Tarantulas, are starting to trickle out into brick and mortar retail and should be showing up from online retailers sooner than later. So keep an eye out, keep your ears peeled, and all that stuff. So, Spider Mode is about what you can see. Yes, as of right now, the figure can balance on its legs, but each segment is ball jointed, so that's going to lessen over time. You do have weapon storage, and it does have some nifty weapons. First, we have a Black Arachnia's crossbow, all in black. And that just pegs in there quite nicely. We'll get into that with when we get into the transformation. And for reasons I'm not 100% sure of, and I haven't seen any explanations of, this includes Tarantulas' Transmetal weapon, which was a rotating saw blade. And this just pegs in underneath right here. Other than that, there's not a lot for articulation or looks. There's the head and mandibles. Yeah. Did I mention I'm arachnophobic? Did I mention that in the Black Arachnia review? Did any of you even watch that? But, so, for the that's about it for the Spider Mode Tarantula. I can speak. Mode. Let's pause and get into the transformation. Alright, I've adjusted the camera ever so slightly. I don't think I need a lot of room for this. To start off, you want to go ahead and remove both weapons. You got the little saw blade there. Now, the instructions going from robot mode to spider mode, they show you pegging this crossbow in before doing the legs. I advise you get the legs in there first because they're going to be a little fiddly to get in there. And then just work your way in getting this crossbow pegged. But we can just lift it out. It's a tight squeeze. I freely admit that. But trust me, it's a little bit easier to do than getting the legs in. We could have waited until we popped the legs out. That would have been easier. Also, just so you note, the post, that's not a traditional hole. It's actually slotted because it's going to peg into the little gap there. Sort of like a GoPro mount for a tripod. So you can use each weapon separately or combine them together. We're just going to do that right now. It's because they're small and I don't want to lose the pieces. Now, there's a lot of things you can do to start the transformation. One thing I would recommend, just to make your life a little bit easier, fold the legs in. They take up a little less space that way and it won't get in your hand, the way of your hands. Now, these front claws will form the arms, obviously, and they peg into the mandibles and the head right over here. Not too tightly, but so you just want to go ahead, separate them, and then fold the arms out at that hinge joint. Rotate them, rotate the arms out. And at this point, maybe you need to just adjust the spider legs a little so things sit flush. And then bring them forward on the armpit joint like so. At which point you can then rotate the claws around, and rotate the spider legs on that black hinge piece down and around. It's a schlep. It's a little tricky to do. Oh God. So just like that, I think is good enough for now. Do it again on this side. Oop. And this on mine, this leg likes to pop off. It happens. So yeah, just pop that in. Or, you want to maybe have the elbow there facing up. Don't worry, we're gonna straighten all that out, but basically keep that out of the way. Come down here to the aforementioned legs. What you want to do is lift them up. Much easier to get out of the shell than to get in. There are holes on the bottom of the feet that are supposed to peg into the base of the shell there. I guess they do. I don't know. But then unpeg the legs from here, straighten them out, flip the feet up, do it again on that side. Come around here, make sure this back section's unpegged, and just start rotate the whole waist around. That will get things situated in a more respectable manner. Rotate the arms around so they're facing forward. I guess you want the smaller side of the pin facing towards you. That makes sense, larger side. And then make sure the claws, you want that, the smaller bit facing toward, like a thumb facing in. So you can do that. Keep the legs bent just for the sake of argument. Lift up what was the spider's mandibles. That will reveal Tarantulas' head. And then fold it up and tuck it in underneath like so. And at the same time, bring up that shell, and that will peg in together like that. You can then bring the spider legs down. And, yeah, I mean, that's actually about it in terms of the transformation. Like I said, positioning, I think you're supposed to have them further back like that. Unfortunately, the instructions are a little unclear, but they are obviously very posable, so you can do a lot with it. Now, the instructions show you how to hold the weapon in combined mode. You want to use, if you notice, when combined, the saw blade peg is a little lower, and there's actually, if you can see there, the 3mm post. So you got that, but you lose the elbow articulation. So if you do it separately, you do maintain elbow articulation. Now, I guess for weapon storage, let's try this now. I haven't tried this yet, but I think with the shell here, I don't want to. Oh God, I shouldn't have done that. Oh God, what did I do? What did I do? Oh God, I did something. Oh, I rotated something. Oh. Oh yes, there's like an inner swivel besides the waist that but I think you can, if you just wiggle jiggle a little. No, actually you can't. With those the hips in the way, you cannot store the crossbow in its beast mode position. The waist is a little too thick. So, yep, there's no weapon storage in beast mode. That's a little unfortunate. But you know what? The fact that they did include both weapons, that is kind of nice. Now, I do believe there's some shared parts between Tarantulas and Black Arachnia, but a lot of this figure is new. Oh, and I just noticed there's the Predacon insignia. So, articulation, head is on a ball joint. Oh, and this is the mutant head, so we do know there's going to be a toy-accurate repaint with the robot head at some point. As I mentioned, the spider legs are on ball joints, universal shoulders, 90-degree bend at the elbow. You do have a bicep swivel. You just have to work with it with these this black frame that holds the spider legs. Universal joint at the hips, swivel here, deep double knee bend. That's partially for transformation. Forward and back feet. That's again for transformation, and a little ankle pivot. So you do have a lot going on there. I dig the figure. I'm not the biggest Beast Wars fan, but I know for a lot of people who are, they've been waiting for a Tarantulas, and I'm glad that they finally have it. So how about we pause and come back with my final thoughts. So, Tarantulas, transformation isn't that complex. Some of you might find it a little fiddly due to the spider legs, but if you just, work with them and try to keep them out of your way as much as possible, it's not that bad. The hardest part is the legs and folding them into the shell. I really think if you follow my suggestion and just wiggle jiggle the crossbow in after you have the legs folded up, you'll be a lot happier. Other than that, no weird looseness. I mean, obviously the spider legs are going to loosen up over time. That's just the name of the game. But yeah, I mean, this is a good figure. If you're a Beast Wars fan, you're going to be very, very happy with it. So that's about it for the review. I can recommend the figure. If you like this review, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing. Helps with the algorithms through the YouTube. Other than that, this is your old pal Chuck for Tarantulas. If you excuse me now, I have to transform Tarantulas back to its spider mode and then hide it in my cabinet waiting for my mother to get home. As if there was ever any question, I am a bad son. Take care.